to the Music Heads podcast, The Topic. We appreciate you for coming in. We got Cheap Charlie out the city today. Mr. No Sucka Shxt, as you guys know. If you don't know, you will know after this interview we got here, this exclusive that I had the privilege to give. My bro came, pulled up for me one time. So tell the people a little bit about you who don't know about you, who don't know.
Like you said, how y'all doing? My name is Cheap Charlie. I'm from San Francisco, Hunters Point. Been raised there all my life. Never really moved to no other city, so in San Francisco, Hunters Point all my life. Like you said, I started that clothing brand, No Sucka Shxt. Been doing that for about 7 to 8 years now. It's been going good. I've been all around the Bay Area with it, so some people have seen it, some people may have not. But I'm gonna keep pushing it until everybody sees it.
That's right, and I'm quite sure you've seen it in places that you may have not expected to see it. So we can touch on this. So I mean, we both from the city, and that brand. Your brand, I've seen even before I knew it was your brand. I knew you for a while now, but I didn't know it was your brand, and I seen it popping out. I mean, because really, if you think about it, it's not really even that many brands from the city. I mean, let's be honest, it was either that. I mean, I can't really even say no other ones. I mean, I got my thing going too. It's a few that you don't mind mentioning, but we'll mention those later in the interview. So, what part of, so you grew up in what, Hunters Point? What, 31 the Point? Yeah, city boy, San Francisco. How was your childhood? Like, I mean, prior to you becoming the successful business person that you are, I would like to say that. You know, and I've always knew you'd be a stand-up guy, you know, out the city and from the neighborhood. What would you say gave you vision to like even say, I'm gonna do this is what I wanted to do? You know, was it because everybody was doing the brand thing? I want a brand, I'm gonna do me a brand, you know what I mean? But you not just a brand, you a brand in the way you carry yourself. So I could see it not being a hard thing for you to sell, whatever it would be, you know, whether it be food, clothes, or whatever.
Well, my childhood started in Hunters Point. Actually, I grew up on Oakdale. So that's where the name even came from. Rest in peace to the
First Chief.
Charlie.
Yeah. Okay.
I got that name from my godfather. Like every day I would pass by them, they'd have a different nickname for me. And when I was a kid, we used to go to the candy house, we used to go to the stores and stuff. I wouldn't always spend all my money and stuff like everybody else would.
You was a miser somewhat, like.
Yeah, so.
We call that a miser in the neighborhood.
Yeah, so when the names came about, when we was kids, like passing out names, nicknames and stuff in the streets, part of my name came from me going to the stores and going to the candy house and not spending all my money. They'd call me stingy sometimes. My friends, my childhood neighborhood friends would call me stingy.
And it's stuff, like cheap, like Cheap Charlie.
But
like
not so much as Cheap Charlie.
Okay, just cheap.
It didn't come from there. Like, that original name is hard to explain for real, but those characteristics of me being that kind of way, like I would not eat all of my candy all the time. I would not eat all of my food some of the time, or they'd ask me for some stuff and I'd be like, no, you can't have none of my stuff. You ate all of your stuff.
And now you want to eat my
stuff. Now you want to take all of them? No, I didn't, stuff like that. So as time grew on, people just call me Cheap Charlie. Just stuck with me.
It's crazy because us growing up, bro, people would be like, this nigga stingy. And I'm going to tell you and share this with you. So I thought your name Cheap came from that you was related to Cheap Charlie from Harvard.
Yeah.
And,
No, Oakdale.
Yeah, excuse me, Oakdale. My bad, Oakdale. For those that know. Yeah, so I was thinking, I'm like, oh, okay, so that's he the brother.
Yeah,
And you
people
know,
thought
because he
that
was a
too.
staple in the you know,
Yeah.
like my people. Just to share something real quick, my people from Thomas and Keith. Right there, you know what I mean? So, and I'm from over, you know, Tees, but I grew up there. So everybody, family basically came from Fillmore. If you, on the back end conversation, our grandparents or mothers or fathers, I went to Portland School. I came from Fillmore, right? Or I went to Richard Wilson before it was called that. Yeah, so I always thought that. That's crazy. So I'm like, okay. And I think I told my co-host off camera, Lena, I said, yeah, no, that's Cheap Charlie. And I explained she young. She didn't know the story, you know what I mean? And I said, that's his brother. But now I stand to be corrected. I'm glad we're here on the podcast getting the real deal, you know what I mean? So
I just got passed down too, we from the older dudes, you know, because I wasn't old enough to carry your name back then as a kid when that name was getting passed around. So, you know, Cheap Charlie came about when he came to Oakdale whenever, and he didn't take the name, but he was honored with the name because he was an older dude and his name was Charles and my name was Charles. So naturally, being that my godfather gave me the name, whatever nickname he had called me, it originally passed down to him because his name was Charles too. So they had a close relationship to where
he can give you that name, basically.
Yeah, when it passes down.
You know what's the trip about that is you got a stand-up guy name, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We
I
got
respect
one
that too, and I make sure that I don't do no such shit. So
right.
always, when I grew up, I will always make sure, you know, I never intertwine myself with my name with none of the bullshit in the neighborhood or in the city. So, like you say, the characteristics of me growing up and people knowing me of that, when I came up with that brand, people, like you say, like, you is about that. That's how you are.
Now, you always carried yourself like that. And I ain't never really seen you, like, maybe a few times when somebody was doing some sucker shit, bro. I'm going to be honest. I didn't involve myself, but if you with me, people know me. Like I said, my people from, like, they know what type of guy I am. You ain't probably never gonna hear nothing but I had to put hands with somebody on disrespect. Other than that, I'm a tough guy, I don't do nothing. I always been about getting my bread, you know what I mean? And so that's what I've known about you. I always seen you in clean cars. I'm a car fanatic. It slowed down a little bit for me later, but I was like, yeah, I just have to clean this and that. And that's the spirit of Cheap in him. He keeps clean stuff, and he builds his cars as projects until you, by the time you see it, you're gonna be asking, sell me that. So because that's how he, you know, he carries himself like that. But so now that's pretty deep. So like I told you, I had the different type of information. So just to even stab into this. So what like back to this, what got you involved? What situation took place that you said, I'm gonna name my brand or such shit? Because we would say that. We actually, Frisco, Sucka Free City. So was that an influence in it too also, or
not really?
Situation popped up?
It's like they say, it's in this, it's not on us. So that was already natural, like you say, the Sucka Free City, but not really so much as it intertwined and put into the brand, because I think when I came home from the feds, I was newly introduced to social media and Facebook and Instagram and all that. And at that time, people was using abbreviations like the BRB for Be Right Back. And
yeah, I'm still
OTW for Out the Way.
That was weird. On my way. Yeah, where you at? Yeah, right. All of it.
So a lot of conversations was broke down in those little abbreviated symbols and stuff, and then a lot of translations was used in the emojis and stuff. People was using emojis and stuff. And as time had progressed with me, learning how to use social media and the phones and Instagram and Facebook and stuff, I was communicating with people with a lot of those abbreviations and
acronyms and stuff. Yeah.
acronyms and emojis and stuff.
Excuse me, not to interrupt. What year did you come home from the Fed?
Yeah,
Oh, hey. Yeah, because you was missing from it. And like when you popped up, you remind me of my, you resemble a little bit Skylark Mike. A little bit. And wait a minute, that's not Skylark. And, oh, yeah, that's cheap. And because I had a, that's crazy. So I had a, and shout out to Skylark Mike too. Yeah, so I had like a thing, like I would be gone, I'd move to Sacramento, I'd move and go down south, and I'd come back, but I did time too, so I'd come back out and I'd be like looking, because like the streets done changed a lot, so that's what made me ask you what year you was gone and stuff, you know what I mean? When I came back, it was no Nellerwood, stuff was different, like, you know what I mean? Because I lived on McKinnon, so I moved from the T's, from Towers to McKinnon. But my family, we own a house right now, today still on Thomas and Keith. So I never, frayed away. I never moved away to that. I wasn't staying connected. And so yeah, I started seeing people, and I would go to Newcomb, and Newcomb was like, it was new faces. You know what I mean? Nothing against the youngest too either. They had new faces. It's evolution. We about growing here on the Music Head Podcast. We get it. We understand. We know where we've been. And we know where y'all going, you know what I mean, and what y'all trying to build. They're trying to build that.
I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the old dudes who pass it down to me. So eventually I gotta get on for the younger dudes to come. So stay tuned.
So back to that. So you said they was using acronyms and using emojis and using stuff like that. So you decided, and then, but you know what though too?
No, but first I was just hashtagging the word "no sucker shit." Because it got to a point where I was just fed up with a lot of the shit going on around me, with people, with my relationship with my family and friends and female. Just a lot of sucker shit. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't condone and didn't like, even with myself, but some of the shit that I was doing. So I had to take accountability with myself and say, I'm going to stop doing that sucker shit. If y'all going to keep doing that, I'm going to stop doing this. So I had to check myself first. Because I wasn't even as vocal as I am today. I just, keep it to myself and not fuck with a motherfucker, people, whatever.
So you think growing and growth as an age, right? I mean, you're growing obviously every day, but in age that basically made your voice pop, gave you a voice to pop out. Like you wasn't mute, but you just, and you know what? I gotta say this. So a lot of times they got social media now, y'all. People get on here and talk reckless and to say anything that fly off their head. We don't come from that era. So for me to even be sitting here on a podcast with bro, it's something different, and it's growth in me too, as well as him. So that's what he mean by he wasn't mute. He just wasn't as vocal about certain situations that should have been addressed. You know what I mean? Because we grew up where you already knew to not do some sucker shit. Ain't that crazy? Or if you knew you did some sucker shit, Chief, you was not allowed around. You knew to not come around. Or you had a certain look, or you carried yourself, you like, yeah, you did some sucker shit, stay from around here. You remember that was our word, stay from around and you can't come back to the block. We call the blocks out here. You know what I mean? Turf. But yeah, but we need people that's vocal like you. Because, a lot of people, they be like, I'm not getting involved in that. And we need to be more present and just more involved.
So that's what woke me up too, like, and that's what I come out to speaking and say shit like the way I said it before. It may have been harsh to people, but I can only be me. And like I said, I was just fed up to a point to where I was just saying some shit that I was fed up with. And I was hashtagging on Instagram, no sucker shit. And then I came up, but before the emojis, I was just hashtagging the word, no sucker shit, no sucker shit, no sucker shit. And then one day I came up with the fucking emojis, and I thought about putting it on the shirt. And I did a little prototype, put it on the shirt. And people was like, man, if you put that on, I hashtagged it, and then I put the emojis behind the word. So then people started seeing the emojis, and they was like, "Do you guys? Is that your brand?" Back then, I didn't even think I didn't even think about putting it on a shirt or making it a brand. It was just something I was just behind hashtagging on Instagram. So I had a little following with people seeing me always speak, and then put the No Sucka Shit hashtag.
So you already basically was popping out just through communication.
Yeah.
When I seen it, I was juiced. I was so excited and elated. I was like, she could tell you. I said, "Oh, somebody finally get it."
No, but then when I did it so many times, people was like, "Man, if you put that on the shirt, I'll fuck around and buy that motherfucker."
Right.
So then one day I was in Vegas and me and my girl was shopping for some stuff, and I was like, "Hey, tell the man to make this shirt for me." My girl actually got the first little prototype shirt for me, and I put it on my page. And I had like about 50 to 60 people say, "Man, where my shirt at? Where my shirt at? Let me get 2, let me get 3, let me get 4." So I sat there and said, "Damn, if I sold shirts, that's some money.
That's residual income too, and legitimate income too. That's what people don't understand. You know, I always like to say, I call it the 0 to 1,000 here on the podcast. You know what I mean? From nothing. I don't like to celebrate hustling, but I do be telling people, I'll be like, "No, bro, you used to literally have to take a $20 rock and visualize yourself going from 0 to 1,000, and it wasn't easy, but it wasn't hard if you kept pace and you stayed, persistent." Yeah, and that's with anything. I'm gonna say this: a lot of people, they want something so fast, like they don't want to see the growth. Like now, I love that people show their vulnerabilities, and then people attack them for that type of stuff. You know what I mean? But I love that. So, but it's good to tell that story. People like it, that back end story. Like, what are you doing? Because they only see what you have now, not where you come from and how hard you work to acquire these things. Like, that's why it's so important that you was on here. And I still don't got my hoodie yet. But now, we'll get to that. So, so because with you having those type of things and like that, and then that type of brand, also to just come up with that and all that, so you say it grew from that. So what made you get your first order? Like, what made you say, okay, I can do 50 shirts, or I got 50 people getting at me, maybe I should take this a little further and get the... What was your first thing, just T-shirts?
Man, I didn't know nothing about that shit at first. Like, I was blind to getting the shirts done, where to get them from, how to get it done.
Do with it, exactly.
I hooked up with Mr. Fab and his brother G-Field.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Cousin. They call me Big Cousin. You see Fab, you like, Big Cousin. That's what we call him.
When he first got started with his dope air stuff, and we were riding around selling it out the trunk. One day G-Field was like, "Man, you helping me do all this for me and Fab, and you know just about many people as I do.
Right.
Every time we go somewhere, people know you just as much as they know us. Like, you might as well start selling shit too with us." So I was selling dope era stuff at first for a minute out in the city, like helping them. And like you said, it just clicked to me to start making my own. So Fab told me to go talk to his boy over at Silk Screen. Had Silk Screen run me my first print. And then after that, I got hooked up with my cousin with Northgate. What got legalized. First, when I was doing it with Silk Screen, I was just doing it, just running it. I didn't know nothing about no legalization,
or nothing,
paperwork,
fictitious business name, none of that.
I didn't know nothing about none of that. I was just like Fab would load up his trunk, and I put some of my stuff in, and we'd just go everywhere.
And you start selling out too, huh? And you like, wait a minute, I gotta up
I gotta up my inventory. I gotta up my marketing. I gotta up everything.
And that's another thing people don't know is marketing. But I seen the brand and Fabs So along the lines, kind of, I want to say that y'all kind of was growing at the same time, because he was just starting, and then you just came in and you like, okay, and they told you like, nah, you probably need to get your thing going. But
yeah, because I
was
shirts
seeing
was in
it.
his store.
Excuse me. So your clothes was in his, your brand was in his store. Yeah, was that the store over in the ice? In the ice. Yeah, up in the north, ice. So yeah, I used to go to the studio across the street too from there, and I think that's where I seen it. You know, it's crazy. I was seeing that, knowing you, not knowing that was yours.
Yeah,
because I didn't have your line, I didn't have your horn.
Yeah.
But then if you would have been texting me, I'd have been like, who
stole
cheap?
You know, I mean, who stole this brand? And, like, I'm a quiet, laid back type dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, smooth.
Bit
Until somebody push the button.
Or I get into the right type of environment and I'm comfortable with it.
Right.
Let loose and all that.
I'm glad.
I'm cool, quiet, and laid back, and I don't like too much attention and all that. So I wasn't really broad, but actually telling too many people like, this is my brand, and that's you see him wearing it, that's mine. And a lot of people I would tell, they'd be like, that ain't yours.
Like I just told you, I didn't know it was you. But I kind of knew that it wasn't Fab because of the way Fab was doing the design. Who was doing the designs? You feel? Well, yeah, I think his brothers.
They had a team,
young guys, like, of doing the design.
Fab, they do some input on some stuff, and Duct Tape, and Chieffield, and Kinsey, and
you know what?
Dope got a whole team.
Yeah. So you know what was dope about your thing is it didn't have to change. So even along the lines of us talking about, and shout out to Fab, to Dope Era too, another amazing brand out here in the Bay Area. You know, those who know, they know.
So that's what I was saying. It's brands out here.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but I was saying in the city. I wasn't. In the city. And
it's Dope Era City.
It is Dope Era. The whole thing. Yeah. So. With that being said, your brand, the way it is, it you didn't have to do too much. And you know what? Let me say this because I don't want to forget in the interview. I said this guy got puffer coats, this guy got hoodies, this guy got hats. So I had went to shout out to Kesney and them over at Big Print. Excuse me, y'all. At Big Print. It's been a minute. And I had you kind of influenced me to get the dad caps, and I put on mine said, "Fuck you, pay me with the money." I thank you. And then so the music heads, you know, this been going on for a while. So look, here we are. And you and my bro been in my living. He seen me in my living room at a video shoot, and I just passed him off a hat. So we've been growing. So I always remember to keep growing and stay persistent. Yeah, so I'm seeing, I'm like, yeah, not the backpack coffee, but I'm like, oh, no, that's clean, because I didn't have your logo, so I had to put my music heads to just my regular, because I'm an artist, so I know how to draw, and so my son made the design, my wife helped me design, and that was dope to me too. I'm like, oh, that's clean, and then you had the joggers too, and that was always one of my things. I'm like, I don't want to do the joggers, and I'm like, how I'm going to do the joggers, and then stuff like that. I didn't know if it was going to be a large cost. You know, I'm not a cheap person, but I wanted to make sure that it made some type of residual. I didn't want to just have the overflow of clothes and merch and just not be moving. So I was doing tester runs. Like, give me 200 of these, give me a couple of these, and they were selling out. The only thing is I didn't stay persistent like that. So I started getting involved in different other stuff. I was doing that music and albums coming out and stuff, but you know, that's an amazing story too. So you just basically, that was the pop off of that.
And then I just followed the blueprint of what Fab and Chieffield showed me about just being a people's person and going out there and messing with your people and putting up fucking with the people. So I knew a lot of people, so you know, we would go to restaurants. I knew people. I knew people that own restaurants and stores and gas stations, and store boutiques and stuff, and we just pull up and sit in front of the store and sell them out.
So you put a lot of stuff in the relationships you did build with the boutiques. Was you able to put stuff on consignment, or if they paid up front? Or
At first, I did do a little bit of the consignment thing, but then I pulled back from the consignment thing because a lot of people were like trying to steal my ideas, bootlegging my stuff and everything. So, and then some people was like overcharging people too much.
Putting the surcharge on the clothes.
So people would be like, man, I went to the store to try to go get your outfit and get a hat, man. They try to charge me $80. Like, why your stuff so high? Like, my stuff not that high. You come get it for me for.
That's crazy. So when you started, you had like it was your entry rate was like low cost.
Yeah, like when I first bought a T-shirt from somebody,
right.
I seen the quality and I felt the design and the print of how the quality was. And then when I started doing it, it was a mismatch to what I like and what I like to sell and what I like to buy. So I upped mine, but
you
I upped my
quality also.
Yeah, and then I upped it in price a little bit because it's like they were selling me the $3 T-shirt and I bought the $8 T-shirt.
Right.
But I sell my $8 T-shirt for $12 or $10.
That was still a good margin. And when was this? What year was this?
I first started back probably 2014 or 15.
Yeah. That was still good because I used to see. So before I always liked to dress. I always been like a dude who liked to do this. People no, bro. This is, if you know me, this is who I swear you can look at my school pictures. You can look over the years, and so I'll pick up stuff. Like I could tell you got a quality beanie on right now off top. I don't gotta touch it. I know that you like quality stuff, so I got a habit of doing this, y'all. So I'll touch any garment I buy, I touch it, and I'm like, and not to shoot nothing down. And I'll be like, okay, so that's how I knew what type of stuff when I was doing my thing. Like, is this comfortable? Do I sweat too much? Can you rewash it? But what people don't know is you shouldn't be rewashing no good quality stuff anyway, unless it's gonna be pajama shoes. I mean, unless you're gonna have it as like working on the car, or you're gonna have it or lounge clothes. But if you're wearing it, yeah. If you're wearing it too. But you definitely, because you do want to keep your hygiene up. Yeah, so that's a major story on that part too. And then so I want to touch on this too. So I seen online that you had a situation where somebody was trying to steal a brand. I was hot. I was ready to go to war with you on that. I said, wait a minute. We finally building some. I mean, not that we haven't built great things before here in the city. But I'm like, wait a minute. We not doing that. I was ready to pull a flag up and go with you too.
Yeah.
So what was that situation?
A lot of people that seen that, like we were speaking of. A lot of people seen when I first started, seen it on the Fab store. Fab got a bigger platform than I did. He had more followers and stuff than I did at that time. So a lot of people seen it.
And didn't think that it was protected or had, like they thought they could just slick. Yeah.
It got a little bit exposure from that because it wasn't really sampled. And said that, hey, this is Cheap Charlie's brand here from San Francisco, or whatever that.
Like you said too before, like that people didn't put the face with the brand.
And then he didn't really
implement like and say, hey, look, you can't this and right. It was just there.
Because it wasn't really his to say, this mine, don't mess with it. But like you said, he was putting out his brand. Dope Barrel was his to stamp and say, this mine, don't mess with it, copyrighted, it's protected under me.
You know why I'm laughing, Chief? Because I felt like it was mine that they stole. Huh, baby? I was like, hold on, wait a minute, man. They doing what now?
So a lot of people feel like that because they didn't know how I started it and where I came from. Like, I'm not a known artist or rapper or basketball player. Like, I'm a dude that just came from nowhere like everybody else. So people feel like they relate to me. They know of me or know my story or know me really personally be like, hey man, you messing with the wrong motherfucker.
Right.
Leave that motherfucker alone.
Leave him alone. Leave him alone. You know what I mean? That's not that he can't speak for himself.
Yeah.
It's just that, you know, when you that type of top tier guy and you build from zero, and a lot of people don't understand these things, and so when you build from that, and then you like this guy, you know, you got this aura about yourself. You're not on the sucker shit. You're not running around here backdooring nobody. You know what I mean? You just standing on what you stand on. A lot of people look at that. Oh, he confrontational, or this and that and the other, or he needs somebody to speak. No, that's not how we do here in the city. In the city, what we do is we stand for our own. When we need to do that more often, and you're hearing it on this platform, and so that's basically what bro's saying. You know, not to narrate for him, but like, yeah. So I'm feeling like they
a
took
lot of
something.
people were saying that about me too. Like, you're real controversial. You're always you're arguing and getting this. But I gotta protect this. What people are trying to take from me. Like, people was doing that stuff real aggressively. Like, really putting it on the shirt and selling it somewhere else, and Bentley saying like, I created this. This is mine. I started this. Like, come on, bro, you didn't start this.
It was crazy because I don't know. I can't remember back then. You put the likeness brand up there, huh? That looked like you called somebody out like, no, wait a minute, this is me right here. And what people don't know, y'all, is when you're doing stuff like that, once you do it because of the internet, it's already a lightweight patent on that because it's already documented on a year. Once it's dated from the order, when he put his order in for his merchandise and all that, bro, that all his invoices and everything say exactly the date he put the order in, the artwork he did. You can go on the computer, even if it's not paid for it. It's already, they would call that back in my day a poor man's a patent. But so yeah, so. Back in my parents' day, not my day, but when I was younger. Yeah, so that's an interesting story. So you resolved that. So they kind of stepped back and say, look, we don't back up off this brand.
Yeah, because at that point I was legal, and then I did have paperwork to back up and send some people with the cease and disorder and stuff. And then, like I said, I ain't no bully.
Yeah, right.
I talk to some people in DM and get them to understand, like, come on, bro.
This
like
is mine.
Like you said, I'll show them today. Like, come on, you wasn't even doing this in 2020. We had a suit on and a tie in 2020. You seen my brand in 2017 and said, oh, ooh. Now you're doing it in 2021.
Wow.
Your whole track record on Instagram show.
Right.
No, I didn't never see it in that. You lying.
It was
you
everywhere.
You seen it in Mr. Fab or on Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Once it got on Snoop Dogg, the whole world seen it.
That's another thing. So this person just backtracked on it and just left it alone. Even though they was trying to fight the argument, nah, I've been on this and this and that and the third.
Or either we communicated through DM, and like I said, I'm not one of them bully type of dude.
What's right is right, wrong is
bully
wrong.
type of dude. So we having a civilized conversation through the DM. They realized that they was wrong, and some of them stopped. Some of them kept pursuing and talking slick through the DM and all that, but I ain't never paid no mind and make me stop doing what I'm doing. So
shout out to
brushed
that.
it off and kept pushing.
That's big dog stuff, you know what I mean? And when I say big dog, don't always, like you said, bullying an individual. Man, when you work so hard for things, you just can't. It's not an option for you to start just handing stuff. And like somebody said, yeah, we've been to Music Head, the Topic podcast. You haven't, because I've been doing Music Heads for like 15 years now. You know what I mean? And we still in growth, and we still growing. So, I understand that, but
So how did you get to recognize your label?
yeah. How did you get Snoop?
Me rocking with Mr. Fab, so tough. Got me the opportunity to be next to Snoop Dogg when he had a dope era signing or a dope era release or something over here at the store, and Snoop came by.
You seen that? No, sir. He seen that. It popped out to him.
Since I smoke weed and Fab don't smoke weed, I was around him enough for him to see I smoke just as much as Snoop. You like, nigga, Snoop finna come to the store. Get your ass back there and get that nigga high as fuck. Make him remember he was at the dope bearer store.
Okay.
So I had to do that.
Yeah.
I got there, got him high as hell. But there was hella people back there in the back smoking a whole bunch of weed. I just happened to have a moment of time to talk to him and spit my spill to him. And Dad was like, I'm finna send some stuff down to Snoop. You want to put some stuff in me? I was like, hell yeah.
Man, that's an amazing opportunity.
And when he asked me that, I happened to be going to go pick up some stuff. And I called one of my boys and told him, hey man, Fab asked me if I want to send some stuff down to Snoop. You got some stuff you want to put up in the bag too? So he gave me a sweater that I put up in there too. So when we sent all that, Fab got me to put my stuff up in there with his, and then got down there to Snoop. And when he put on Fab stuff, he put on mine and my boy stuff too.
Shout out to Fab. He always been that one, man. He been
if it wasn't for Fab,
cousin. He always been that.
Been next to Snoop.
Yeah. How was that? How was it to see that not only did he receive the gift, he wore it though? You know how many people I've given stuff to and I've never seen them, because I'm like you too. I'm not gonna beg you. If you like it, you like it. You know, if you wear it, you wear it. You know, that's why sometimes it's been people that, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I sell it to other people, and to my people, it's yours. You know, I understand everybody can't do that. It's a business, it's not for free. But what was the feeling like? I know you're like, he's rocking, and I seen it on him, and I wait a minute, hold on. He got it. Okay, so there's a connection somewhere here. You know.
I mean, the feeling is unexplainable. You know what I'm saying?
And he kept wearing it too. He didn't just put it on for PR. He kept
like
wearing. He's still wearing it.
I don't know if he's still wearing it. I ain't seen no new up there.
Yeah. I mean, from
wearing
you know,
it,
but you know,
I did have it back then. But I sent like more than just that beat. I sent some T-shirts and sweaters and everything for the kids, and a few entourages to wear and stuff too. And then Max Sean is family related to me down the family tree, so I
stick with it.
Stick with it, Max Sean. I sent the shirt in there for him too, so he's supposed to be wearing it too. But like you said, the seeing of Snoop wearing it, I was like, God damn.
So what do you think you say, okay, man, we gotta up the orders now? Was it one of those type of feelings, or was it just like?
What's crazy is that's when the major bootlegging shit started.
You did say that. You did say that. I don't want to lose that.
About where it came from, or go follow this page and get it from there and get it from there. So the orders didn't come to me.
Yeah.
And then I'd have the trademark on the other side of the beanie. It was just a plain beanie. So a lot of people seen that, and they seen the opportunities to start jacking and bootlegging. But I did get some orders coming in from that notoriety, because a lot of my people that seen that, it was like, nigga, who was you with Snoop?
Yeah.
How the fuck was you with Snoop? How you know Snoop? Man, I was with Fred. I don't know. Y'all know I don't know Snoop. I don't be with Snoop here. I don't know his phone number. I can't call that nigga.
Was this a thing where you really, like, people just was popping out, like, it's like following each other? You know how the Me Too's do? Like, let me try it too, before you got to the point where it was a cease and desist, and you was like, you know, y'all not gonna be able to wear this. It's legitimately mine.
It was once people seen that, it was going crazy.
That's crazy that people was not creative enough to come up with their own. That's crazy.
But like, I used to get mad when people did that, and the first few times in the DMs, I was going crazy on people, like death threats and, you know, where you at, and I'm pulling up on you. And,
you snatch it and take all of your
ready to book flights and all that. You know what I'm saying? And my cousin that I'm with, that I'm in partnership with, that helped me get legal and helped me get centered and everything.
Yeah,
like, man, it's just, man,
let it be dealt with legitimately.
You can't do nothing about that, man. You ain't finna take no flight. I'm not finna let you go do no sucker shit.
Right.
Sit your ass down, chill out. We got work to do. So that's when the the more creative ideas came out where I have no snake shit, no clown shit, no rat shit, not just no sucker shit.
Okay, so that's something we could be, that we're gonna start. I seen that too. I got another question too. So I sat down with the little bro, and this is some years back. I want to say this before I forget in the interview. The compilation. We need to do the No Sucka Shit compilation. You know I produce, so you know I'm a producer too. So my beats for you is free. I can gather people to get on there. I'm quite sure you know the who's is who's and all the people too. I'm not pressing that issue, but when I sat down and talked to Doge, I'm like, Doge, tell them, I was excited. I'm like, because people not putting compilations out no more. I mean, I don't know if somebody gonna try it now and they hear it on the podcast, but that would be amazing to have different artists on there, and people love you, Chief, so they gonna do it. And then you got the new artists.
Works. I had an idea and some shit going with my brother from Oakland on Carter Block. And I'm a part of the label over there, Carter Block Entertainment. We was in works on doing that, so it ain't really fell through the floor, so
it's a process, y'all. Yeah. It take time. Like everybody want it overnight. None of this man, as long as you keep notes.
I told Black Chris about it too, and he gave me a song. So
if you got any song you hear that I got, or anybody, any of my,
I just gotta put Deuce to the ground and get serious about it. But I do want to do that too.
It's a process though. It is. It ain't. You just snap your fingers and then it's like.
I do want people to hear songs about No Sucka Shit.
And because you one of them city staples too, so not to take nothing away from nobody like Black C, Chris, or none of them, or any of the other artists, that would be a good look, because now people are going back to the jewel case vinyl, the vinyl and the jewel case, and imagine if they could buy that on the jewel case, because they would. I don't know how many people still bumping it. I got a CD player in my car, but we also can USB plug in the music. I know it's digital now. We got that. Yeah. So when I've been going to the places behind the scenes, I've been seeing like Cheddar. He got the Soldiers out of Sunnyvale. Cheddar got the vinyl. Black C got the vinyl. Richie Rich got the vinyl. I don't want to I don't want to leave nobody else out, but collectively it's a lot of brothers getting back the jewel casing and all that. So y'all gonna have to put y'all decks, them Black Pumps and them Pioneer decks, y'all gonna have to put them in. Y'all know we still smacking the Zap codes out here too. I seen some niggas just rolling clean too. My bro clean, I'm clean, I'm still building mine. We still building, so maybe that's something to come. Maybe, we still got time, inshallah. But yeah. So that's crazy. Oh, so let's go back to the neighborhood too. So I don't want to defer from that. So when you had a relationship with many people, but you and Nellerwood had a pretty tight relationship, right? How was that? Because I know that I had to hurt you, like the loss to him and many others. You know what I mean? Because like I told you, when I came back home before. So I moved on McKinnon in 2003 or 2002? So I think it was 2002. And I always went to Lincoln store, get all the Cuddy Bangs, all the drink, anything that my preference to drink. All my Swishers, you know what I mean? I would even go steal, because I was trying to still hold on to some class. I was still going to get a Garcia Vega just to be like, man, I ain't smoking what I'm smoking. So a lot of the fellas, and most of them that weren't deceased, or how they call it, unalived, were either in jail, locked up. So I'm nothing against y'all again. I just didn't recognize faces. You know what I mean?
I was locked up back then. I caught a federal case in 2002, and they sentenced me to 2005. I did 3.5, 4 years, and I came out in 08. So I was gone that whole time. He was over there.
Yeah.
But before then, I don't know how we even cross paths.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. And I seen your stain, and I would see that too. And I would see hella other toys, like I would see, what's my other guy name? What's Lowdown? What's T-Low cousin name? The little short one on Queen Skylines. Ah, man, I hate when I can't remember a name. I think can't remember a name. He had the clean lock. He real short, round guy. I don't know if he
Booker?
not Bookman. Down on Newcomb. Snacks. Yeah. I would see his face, a few other people out there, not to just single him out. I just, and you know what I mean? I would even see T-Sean, T-Lo, every now and then.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, so I would pull by and I'm like, and I seen faces, but it was new faces, nothing. You know what I mean? Because I'm from the era where you went to the actual, to the opera house parties and all that right across the street. You know what I mean? So, and so it was still big, like. So I wouldn't see certain people like, but I know that kind of like hurt you, like.
Me and another one grew up since kids. My family and his family grew up close. We grew up as like damn near as cousins.
Yeah, so that, because I've seen that you post him up there, you know, whenever his day come by, and with many others, not just him, but then I could tell, you know, so like, because I know
childhood friends, like I said, like family, so. Passed
he definitely would have been proud and being Nellywood, he would have been, because he wasn't gonna hold his tongue on certain situations.
He would have been screaming no sucker shit all
day,
videos and everywhere.
Right.
And if he was alive, like you said, he would have treated the brand like he was his.
I told you when they was talking about, man, I was ready to get on the plane with you. I just didn't know you was going. I was like, what we gonna have to do? Stamp up our passports? What? Okay, so I want to touch on this because you come from the whip culture. You know, in the city we all keep something clean. If you ain't got nothing clean, listen. If you didn't even and cheap. Tell them, if you couldn't afford and you were saving up, you had a clean bucket, at least in the city. That was your trapping bucket. Back then we was, we was busting knocks, you would be in your bucket and that would be clean, or you had you something put up or in the shop getting worked on. And so, but what was in your deck back then? What was like, because I know, I'm gonna tell you, I bumped like RBL, Big Mac, and it's not leaving nobody out. I definitely bumped the Filmo, the Figs, and all in the mess in them. But in your, because that was they had compilations still like in that era. You know what I mean? I don't know if you was out at the time, but what would you be bumping? What was one of your
back then? I wasn't even driving no cars and nothing back then. But we was always had radios. And
shit, I
so,
remember the boom box, the skinny thing.
Yeah, I was playing everybody.
Everybody.
I'm very musically inclined enough to music, so I played everybody. The city, like the Bay Area, compilations.
The compilations is what got artists out there. For y'all don't know about compilations, it's a compiled. I don't know if you would call it an EP, but it's a cassette or a CD that had multiple artists from the Bay Area, not just the city, but we would do that, and that's how we wrote, and that's how you get the Herm Lewis's, and you get the, you know what I mean, lesson to like the RBLs, and I can go not just name them. You had Sandman, you had even some of them artists are still around though, so that's how you was able to listen to a collective of music and stuff. Yeah, he did. That's one of my childhood. Yeah, my childhood friends, Lala. That's his family and that's when my bro. He passed on now, but
Yeah, my
Big
boy
Larry
used to make tapes, make compilation tapes, BNT show.
Yeah.
Washington make tapes and shit with every song on there. So.
Like on our end, we had Action Jack, and he used to put everybody in the back too. Action Jack. Yeah. Hey, that's crazy. You just reminded me. Big Larry did put out a compilation, Larry June Daddy, because Margie she went to school with my mama. My mama is that age, so So Margie went to school, and that's with my mama. And then so when I moved from from the towers, my mama got the 8-ball section, and we moved to a house on Hudson. And so and she worked at the post office down here on Evans. And so and so that's how my grandmama. So I got 2 grandmamas. So of course I got 2 grandmas, but that live in the Bayview. One lived on Carr Street by Hollister, and my other one lived on Thomas and Keith, a little further down 3rd. And so so my daddy parents and my mama parents, and I had all the cassette tapes, all that, everything. And so my mama, she grew up she went to school with all them, Port Love, all the school,
She knew everybody in the neighborhood. I knew all the people that was rapping and shit too, so I was a heavy supporter of all the Bay Area local artists.
Wasn't that big to you knew and you could see Cold War hustlers and be like, look, when the new one coming out, Big Thick. I was in Log Cabin Ranch with Big Thick. I was in Log Cabin Ranch with Black Seed. That's when I was messing up. Don't go to jail. I'm not celebrating jail time. As you see this man, you see what he did when he got out. So take this.
It was just a systematic trap back then.
Everybody trapped. They did.
Go get their turn. Go to jail because he was outside living life.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't know that, so we don't be glorifying that. We don't be trying to steal that, but it was a part of life, and it was
They was taking us to jail for hanging out. Man.
They would be, and put something on you.
They calling us gangs and stuff.
Yeah. Gang junction and
everything.
No gang.
Four cousins could really hang together and they'd call us a gang.
Yeah.
We family. How you gonna call us a gang?
Then they ready to run in Big Mama house. And you I'm in front of my grandmama house. This is my auntie house. This is my uncle house. This is my house. This is where we congregate as our people. That's what we do. So that was crazy too. But I just wanted to touch on the music thing because I know you love your music out there. So what's your look on the new music like?
Everybody used to tell me I should be a rapper because I was really living a life. It should be easy for you to rap.
For you to transition into that.
I can't rap and tell on myself and say what I'm really doing. Is you crazy?
Yeah.
Now they serve people.
They do it.
They platinum artists for doing it.
Right. And so that's what I was saying. Excuse me. So what you think about the rap now? Is it being too is it giving off too much? Because they call it op, rap, drill music, this, that, and the third. I like the flex, not the flex, but the boss player music, like the Larry June style, the Richie Rich style. You know what I mean? Nothing against no other music or whatever. I listen to a variety. You're not gonna get a whole day of listening out of me. But I do. You on my playlist, those that are out there. What you think about the drill app music?
I listen to Dirt. I have listened to Chief Keef.
Yeah, I'm a Chief. I have
I like the way Dirt, what I'm saying,
deliver it,
rap his lyrics and stuff. I ain't too infatuated with the image and lifestyle he try to portray because I know it's entertainment in his rap, but I'm not. I've been through that infatuated rap phase in my life, when I was a kid. So when I listen to music, I'm just a fan of the music because I know what music is. I like some of the music and some of it I don't.
Yeah, that's understandable. I try not to attack them for it because a lot of people feeding their families. They don't have what we had. We had a gold mine coming up. When we hustled, it was a lifestyle and it was a way. Like he said, if you were outside, you were outside. It was a part of your makeup. That's what you did. So now I try not to knock people because they feed families off of it. And I know if you take stuff too serious, it start to bleed over into everybody. Everybody want to blick up and this and that. And you'll hear that if you listen to even my songs, but it's a message. It's not even saying to go kill nobody. It's just saying what we live on the day to day. So anybody that don't take it so serious all the time, and I think that's what started getting messed up cheap in the music. People started taking it. For instance, I got my 9. That's my song. I'll be, you know what I mean? 9, you know what I mean? And I never took to that as that so much. So I'm just saying it from my, that's a hit still to me. I still bump that.
Yeah, but
So,
like you said, you done suffered the consequences, the circumstances of having that 9.
Right,
So you
right.
know you can't have that 9 like he say in the song.
Yeah.
So you can only like that song for what he's saying.
Right.
You can't live it.
Yeah, you can't take it.